Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel Next Gen Learning Club. Today's video is all about the book The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by the author Joseph Murphy. Let's begin with foundations, conditioning, and the hidden force shaping your life. There is a silent power operating in your life right now. It does not shout. It does not argue. It does not explain itself. Yet it decides what you expect, what you tolerate, what you attract, what you repeat, what you believe is possible. Most people never discover it consciously. They live entire lifetimes reacting to its effects without knowing its cause. This power is not outside you. It is not fate. It is not destiny written by someone else. It is not luck or misfortune. It is your subconscious mind. From the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, this inner intelligence is interpreting instructions, not from the world, but from you. Every reaction you have, every emotional pattern, every repeated outcome, every habit that feels automatic, all of it originates here. And the most important truth you must understand at the beginning is this. Your subconscious mind is neutral. It is not good or bad. It does not judge. It does not reason. It simply accepts instructions and executes them faithfully. If you have struggled in life, it is not because you lack effort. It is because the subconscious has been following a program that was installed long before you were aware of it. This series is about learning how that program was formed and how to rewrite it deliberately. Why most people never change, even when they try. Almost everyone has tried to change something in their life. They try to be more confident, calmer, healthier, wealthier, break a bad habit, or create a new routine. They read books. They watch videos. They make resolutions. And yet, after some time, they fall back into the same patterns. This creates confusion and frustration. People start saying, I know what to do, but I can't do it. Something is blocking me. Maybe this doesn't work for me. I lack discipline. But discipline is not the problem. The real issue is that most attempts at change only involve the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is not in charge. The two levels of the mind. To understand this work, you must clearly distinguish between two aspects of the mind. One, the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the thinking mind. It analyzes, chooses, decides, reasons, evaluates information. This is the part of you listening right now. The conscious mind sets intentions. It says, I want to change. But intention alone does not create reality. Two, the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the emotional and habitual mind. It stores beliefs, runs automatic patterns, controls emotional reactions, governs habits, regulates the body, executes learned behaviors. The subconscious mind does not think. It feels, remembers, and responds. And here is the most critical principle. The subconscious mind always overrides the conscious mind. You can consciously decide to act one way, but if the subconscious holds a conflicting belief, the subconscious will win every time. This is not weakness. This is design. One of the biggest misunderstandings beginners have is this. They believe resistance means failure. They believe discomfort means something is wrong. In reality, resistance is not a sign that change is impossible. It is a sign that change is actually happening. The subconscious mind exists to preserve what is familiar. Not what is good, not what is healthy, not what is logical, only what is familiar. Anything unfamiliar is interpreted as a potential threat, even if it is beneficial. This is why growth feels uncomfortable. The subconscious mind evolved for survival, not happiness. Its primary functions are predictability, consistency, energy conservation, avoidance of perceived danger. From the subconscious point of view, familiar pain is safer than unfamiliar pleasure. Known limitation is safer than unknown expansion. Old patterns are safer than new behaviors. This is why people stay in situations they consciously dislike. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because suffering has become predictable. What a habit really is. A habit is not an action. A habit is a neural emotional loop. Every habit has three components: a trigger, an emotional or mental response, a repeated outcome. The subconscious stores habits as shortcuts. Once a habit is established, the subconscious executes it automatically to conserve energy. This applies to eating patterns, emotional reactions, thought patterns, self-talk, procrastination, avoidance, confidence, fear. Confidence itself is a habit. So is anxiety. Habits are emotional, not logical. People try to break habits by logic.
They say, I know this is bad for me, but the subconscious does not respond to knowledge. It responds to emotional association. If a habit provides emotional relief, even temporarily, the subconscious will protect it. This is why people overeat when stressed, avoid difficult conversations, procrastinate important tasks, stay distracted, react defensively. The habit is not the problem. The emotional need behind it is. Why sudden change fails? When you attempt drastic change, the subconscious reacts defensively. It interprets sudden shifts as instability. This triggers anxiety, self-doubt, overthinking, fatigue, emotional resistance. People then conclude, I am not meant for this. I lack discipline. I always fail. In truth, they simply shock the system. The subconscious prefers gradual, familiar transitions. The role of emotional memory. The subconscious stores emotional memory more strongly than factual memory. You may forget what someone said to you, but you remember how they made you feel. Emotional memory shapes expectations, reactions, trust levels, boundaries, attachment patterns. When a current situation emotionally resembles a past experience, the subconscious reacts automatically. This is why certain people trigger you. Certain situations cause fear. Certain opportunities feel overwhelming. The subconscious is not reacting to the present moment. It is reacting to stored emotional memory. Why fear appears when you try to grow? Fear is not the enemy. Fear is the subconscious asking, is this safe? Whenever you move beyond your current identity, fear arises. This does not mean danger. It means unfamiliar territory. The subconscious associates unfamiliarity with risk. Understanding this prevents self-sabotage. Identity is the core of all change. Your subconscious is deeply attached to identity. Identity answers questions like, who am I? What kind of person am I? What do people expect from me? What is normal for me? Any behavior that contradicts identity feels uncomfortable. For example, if your identity is someone who struggles, ease will feel suspicious. If your identity is someone who sacrifices, rest will feel undeserved. If your identity is someone who stays quiet, assertiveness will feel wrong. The subconscious protects identity above all else. Why people self-sabotage? Self-sabotage is not self-hatred. It is identity protection. When success threatens identity, the subconscious intervenes. It creates distraction, procrastination, doubt, fatigue, emotional overwhelm. The goal is not to fight sabotage. The goal is to expand identity gradually. Reprogramming requires safety, not force. The subconscious opens when it feels safe. Safety is created by calm repetition, familiar emotional tone, gentle persistence, self-acceptance. Force creates resistance. Ease creates absorption. The role of imagination in conditioning. The subconscious does not distinguish between real experiences, vivid imagination, rehearsed emotion. Whatever is imagined with feeling is treated as real. This is why anxiety creates physical symptoms. Visualization influences behavior. Mental rehearsal improves performance. Why you must start small. Beginners often aim too high. They imagine a complete personality transformation overnight. This overwhelms the subconscious. Small changes feel safe. For example, feeling slightly calmer instead of perfectly calm. Acting slightly more confident instead of fearless. Small success expands identity naturally. The danger of inner violence. Inner violence is self-criticism, judgment, and pressure. Statements like, I must fix myself. I am failing again. These reinforce the identity of being flawed. The subconscious absorbs tone, not intention. Gentleness accelerates change. Reconditioning through repetition. Repetition works because it creates familiarity. Familiarity creates acceptance. Acceptance creates belief. Belief creates behavior. Daily practice for part 2. Do not change anything yet. Just notice when resistance appears, when fear arises, when habits activate. Observation weakens unconscious patterns. Awareness slows automation. Why awareness is powerful. When something becomes conscious, it loses unconscious control. You cannot unknow what you see. This is the first true shift. Part 2 closing. Change is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming safe with new possibilities. The subconscious does not need motivation. It needs reassurance. In the next part, we will explore health and healing. The body-mind relationship. Your body is not separate from your mind. It is an extension of it. Every function of the body, breathing, circulation, digestion, immune response, hormonal balance, is regulated automatically. You do not consciously tell your heart to beat. You do not consciously instruct your lungs to breathe while sleeping. You do not consciously repair cells. These processes are governed by the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the bridge between thought and physical expression. This is why mental states eventually manifest physically. Health is not just physical, it is psychosomatic. Psychosomatic does not mean imaginary. It means the psyche, mind, influences the soma, body. Every prolonged emotional state creates a physiological response. Stress tightens muscles. Fear accelerates heartbeat. Anxiety disrupts digestion. Grief lowers immunity. Chronic tension exhausts the nervous system. When these states are temporary, the body recovers. When they are habitual, the body adapts, and symptoms appear. The body is not malfunctioning. It is responding intelligently to internal signals. The subconscious mind stores unresolved emotions. If an emotion is repeatedly suppressed, ignored, or resisted, it does not disappear. It seeks expression. The body becomes that outlet. For example, chronic worry may express as digestive issues. Long-term fear may express as fatigue. Suppressed anger may express as tension or inflammation. Prolonged sadness may express as low energy. This does not happen overnight. It is gradual, cumulative, and logical. It is important to remove blame from this process. The subconscious mind is not punishing you. It is adapting to perceived conditions. If it receives repeated signals of danger, stress, or conflict, it prepares the body accordingly. This preparation was meant for short-term survival. But when sustained, it becomes imbalance. A diagnosis is information. But when emotionally accepted as identity, it becomes a suggestion. The subconscious does not understand labels. It understands meaning and emotion. If a diagnosis is received with fear, hopelessness, or finality, the subconscious absorbs those emotions. This does not mean diagnosis is wrong. It means the emotional response to information matters. Calm understanding supports healing. Fear reinforces tension. The body is designed to heal. Healing is not something you force. It is something you allow. The subconscious initiates healing when fear subsides. Tension releases. The nervous system feels safe. This is why rest, calm, and reassurance are powerful. Worry sends a message of danger. The subconscious hears, this is not safe. When danger is perceived, the body shifts into survival mode. Survival mode prioritizes alertness, energy conservation, defense. Healing requires the opposite state, relaxation, safety, balance. This is why chronic worry delays recovery. Belief does not replace medical care. Belief influences response. If the subconscious believes the body is capable of balance, it supports recovery. If the subconscious believes the body is fragile, broken, or helpless, it creates vigilance and tension. The belief sets the tone. Fear creates contraction. Contraction restricts circulation, breath, and flow. The subconscious cannot heal efficiently in a state of contraction. This is why calm acceptance is more effective than struggle. The subconscious responds strongly to imagery. Images of balance, calm, and restoration communicate safety. You do not need vivid imagination. You need gentle impression. Simple ideas repeated calmly are enough. During sleep, the conscious mind releases control. The subconscious becomes dominant. This is when repair accelerates. Hormones regulate. Emotional processing occurs. What you dwell upon before sleep deeply influences this process. Fear before sleep amplifies symptoms. Calm before sleep supports restoration. Resentment is prolonged emotional tension. Guilt is internalized conflict. Both create stress responses. The subconscious holds on to unresolved emotions as unfinished business. Forgiveness is not approval. It is release. Release frees the subconscious from holding tension. The subconscious does not respond to forced emotions. It responds to sincerity and consistency. Pretending to feel healthy while internally fearing illness creates conflict. Gentle reassurance works better than denial. The goal is not to cure. The goal is to create inner harmony. Harmony allows the body to function optimally. This begins with reducing fear, increasing calm, allowing rest, softening resistance. This practice is not aggressive. It is supportive. Once or twice a day, sit quietly. Place attention on the body. Mentally affirm calm balance without strain. Do not demand results. Consistency matters more than intensity. The subconscious learned imbalance gradually. It restores balance gradually. Impatience creates pressure. Pressure signals danger. Gentleness signals safety. Healing often feels subtle. Less tension, more ease, better rest, softer reactions, improved mood. Do not look for dramatic signs. Look for reduced resistance. The body listens constantly, not to your words, but to your emotional state. Health is not commanded. It is permitted. When the subconscious accepts calm, the body follows. In the next part, we will move into wealth and abundance, money conditioning, scarcity patterns, self-worth and prosperity. Why effort alone does not create financial ease.
Wealth, money, and the subconscious blueprint of abundance. Why money is a psychological experience. Money is often treated as something purely external. People believe, if I work harder, I will earn more. If I learn more skills, money will come. If the economy improves, my situation will change. While effort and skill matter, they are not the determining factors. Two people can work equally hard. Two people can have the same education. Two people can face the same circumstances. Yet their financial outcomes differ drastically. The difference lies not in effort, but in internal programming. Money responds to belief, expectation, and self-image. The subconscious does not respond to want. Wanting is a signal of lack. The subconscious does not produce what you want. It produces what you expect and feel familiar with. If abundance feels unfamiliar, the subconscious will unconsciously reject it. This is why sudden money often disappears. Lottery winners frequently return to old financial states because the identity did not change. Scarcity is learned, not inherent. No one is born fearing money. Scarcity beliefs are absorbed through family conversations, cultural conditioning, emotional experiences. Observed stress around finances, repeated warnings and fears. Statements such as, money is hard to earn. We can't afford that. Rich people are selfish. Be realistic. These are not facts. They are suggestions. When repeated with emotion, they become beliefs. Money beliefs operate below awareness. Most people consciously want wealth. Subconsciously, they may believe money causes conflict. Wealth creates isolation. Success attracts judgment. Prosperity requires suffering. These beliefs sabotage results silently. The subconscious always chooses emotional safety over external gain. Why hard work often leads to burnout, not wealth. Hard work without aligned belief creates struggle. Struggle reinforces the belief. Life is difficult. The subconscious then recreates struggle to remain consistent. This creates cycles of effort followed by exhaustion. Ease feels unfamiliar and therefore unsafe. Self-worth and income are connected. Income often reflects self-worth. If the subconscious believes, I am undervalued, I should settle, I must sacrifice, then financial outcomes mirror those beliefs. Raising income requires expanding self-image. The role of expectation in opportunity. Opportunities are not random. They are noticed based on expectation. If the subconscious expects scarcity, it filters out abundance. If it expects possibility, it recognizes openings. This is not magic. It is perception. Why fear of loss blocks growth? Fear of loss creates contraction. The subconscious interprets fear as risk. When risk feels too high, it prevents action. This is why people avoid investing in themselves, undercharge for their work, stay in unsatisfying jobs, reject opportunities. The subconscious chooses certainty over expansion. Abundance is a state of acceptance. Abundance is not excess. It is permission to receive. If the subconscious does not feel permitted to receive, abundance remains theoretical. Permission is emotional, not logical. Why generosity signals abundance? Generosity communicates safety. It signals, there is enough. The subconscious responds to this state. This does not mean reckless giving. It means internal abundance, not fear-based hoarding. The subconscious responds to assumed identity. Instead of thinking, I want to be wealthy, the subconscious responds to, I am someone who prospers naturally. Identity precedes outcome. The danger of comparison. Comparison reinforces lack. The subconscious interprets comparison as deficiency. This strengthens scarcity programming. Focus must remain internal. The role of gratitude in wealth. Gratitude is not politeness. It is recognition. Recognition signals completion. Completion signals sufficiency. The subconscious responds to sufficiency with expansion. Practical reprogramming for abundance. Part 4. Begin gently. Observe money thoughts. Emotional reactions to spending. Feelings about receiving. Discomfort around wealth. Replace pressure with familiarity. Daily practice for beginners. Once daily, acknowledge existing sufficiency. Mentally normalize ease. Avoid desperation. Ease is the bridge. Why time is necessary. Wealth conditioning often spans decades. It cannot be undone overnight. Patience communicates safety. Part 4 closing. Money reflects inner order. When the subconscious accepts prosperity as normal, external conditions reorganize. In the next part, we will explore relationships, emotional bonds, attachment patterns, inner dialogue with others, how subconscious expectations shape love and connection,
Relationships, emotions, and the subconscious patterns of connection. Why relationships are a mirror of the subconscious. Relationships do not begin outside of you. They begin within. Every relationship you experience is filtered through expectations, emotional memory, beliefs about yourself, beliefs about others, assumptions formed in the past. The subconscious uses relationships as feedback. It expresses inner beliefs through interpersonal dynamics. This is why similar patterns repeat with different people. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you expect. Desire is conscious. Expectation is subconscious. If you consciously desire love but subconsciously expect abandonment, distance, or disappointment, expectation wins. The subconscious organizes experiences to confirm what it already believes. This is not punishment. It is consistency. How early experiences shape attachment. Attachment patterns form early. The subconscious learns whether connection feels safe, whether love feels conditional, whether needs are met or ignored, whether vulnerability is rewarded or punished. These early impressions become templates. Later relationships activate these templates automatically. Why emotional triggers feel so intense. A trigger is not about the present moment. It is the subconscious reacting to stored emotional memory. When someone's behavior resembles a past experience, the subconscious responds as if the past is happening again. This creates overreaction, defensiveness, withdrawal, anger, fear. Understanding this reduces self-blame. The subconscious communicates through emotion, not words. You may say one thing consciously, but your emotional tone communicates more powerfully. The subconscious of others responds to emotional signals. This is why calm presence diffuses conflict. Tension escalates arguments. Unspoken resentment is felt. Safety invites openness. Why repeated relationship patterns occur. Patterns repeat until awareness intervenes. The subconscious seeks familiarity. If chaos feels familiar, calm feels uncomfortable. If emotional distance feels familiar, intimacy feels unsafe. Change begins when familiarity is questioned. The role of self-concept in relationships. How you see yourself determines how you allow others to treat you. If the subconscious believes, I must earn love, I should not ask for too much, my needs are inconvenient, then boundaries weaken. Resentment grows silently. Why people stay in unfulfilling relationships. Staying is often about emotional safety, not logic. The subconscious chooses known discomfort over unknown freedom, familiar pain over unfamiliar peace. Leaving requires identity shift. The power of inner dialogue with others. Much of your communication happens internally. You rehearse conversations. You imagine reactions. You relive conflicts. The subconscious treats these inner dialogues as real interactions. Repeated inner conflict creates emotional distance. Repeated inner harmony softens interactions. Forgiveness as subconscious release. Forgiveness is not condoning behavior. It is releasing emotional attachment. Resentment binds the subconscious to the past. Release frees energy. The goal is inner peace, not justification. Why holding grudges damages the holder. The subconscious stores unresolved emotions as tension. This tension affects mood, health, perception, reaction patterns. Forgiveness dissolves tension. The subconscious responds to assumed harmony. If you assume conflict, you behave defensively. If you assume harmony, you behave openly. Assumptions shape outcomes. Love and safety. Love requires emotional safety. The subconscious opens only when it feels safe. Safety is created through consistency, respect, calm communication, self-acceptance. Why changing yourself changes relationships? You cannot change others directly, but when you change your emotional state, relationships adjust naturally. The subconscious of others responds to your state. Practical practice for part 5. Observe reactions instead of actions, expectations instead of behavior, emotional tone instead of words. Awareness loosens patterns. Night practice for relationships. Before sleep, release the day's interactions. Avoid replaying conflict. Assume resolution. This impresses harmony upon the subconscious. Why patience is essential in relationships. Emotional patterns form over years. They dissolve through understanding, not force. Part 5 closing. Relationships reveal subconscious beliefs. When inner assumptions shift, outer connections realign. In the next part, we will explore faith and inner acceptance, the role of belief without strain, prayer, visualization, and imagination, how the subconscious responds to certainty.
Faith, imagination, and the art of mental acceptance. Why faith is often misunderstood. Faith is commonly mistaken for blind belief, emotional intensity, or religious devotion. In reality, faith is none of these. Faith is mental acceptance. It is the inner feeling that something is settled, natural, and expected. The subconscious does not respond to hope. It does not respond to wishing. It does not respond to pleading. It responds to acceptance. When something feels accepted internally, the subconscious treats it as a fact and begins aligning behavior, perception, and reaction accordingly. Faith is a state, not an action. Most people try to do faith. They strain. They repeat affirmations forcefully. They try to feel something dramatic. This creates effort. Effort signals uncertainty. The subconscious hears effort as, this is not true yet. Faith, on the other hand, feels calm. It feels quiet. It feels settled. It feels natural. There is no urgency in faith. Why strain blocks results? Strain is resistance disguised as effort. When you strain, you communicate doubt. The subconscious receives mixed signals. Conscious desire, subconscious uncertainty. Uncertainty cancels impression. This is why relaxed confidence produces better results than intense desire. The subconscious responds to the end state. The subconscious does not calculate steps. It responds to assumed outcomes. When the mind accepts an end condition as real, the subconscious organizes behavior toward it naturally. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing the inner reference point. Prayer as subconscious communication. Prayer is not begging. Prayer is affirmation with acceptance. Effective prayer does not ask repeatedly. It assumes fulfillment. The moment the mind accepts the idea as complete, the subconscious responds. Repeating a request without acceptance reinforces lack. Why gratitude works better than requesting. Gratitude implies completion. Completion signals certainty. The subconscious understands gratitude as, this is done. This is why gratitude creates inner shift faster than pleading. Imagination is the language of the subconscious. The subconscious thinks in images and feelings. Words are secondary. An imagined experience with emotional tone is processed as real. This is why fearful imagination creates anxiety. Positive imagination builds confidence. Mental rehearsal improves performance. Imagination is not fantasy. It is a creative faculty. Why visualization does not need detail. Many beginners believe visualization must be vivid. This is not true. The subconscious does not require high-definition imagery. It responds to feeling and acceptance. A simple sense of ease is enough. The role of feeling. Feeling does not mean excitement. It means emotional alignment. The feeling of relief, calm, normalcy, quiet confidence. These are powerful signals. Why doubt is not the enemy. Doubt is natural. Trying to eliminate doubt creates resistance. The subconscious does not require perfection. It requires dominance. If acceptance outweighs doubt, impression occurs. The middle way, neither force nor passivity. Do not force belief. Do not wait passively. Instead, introduce ideas gently. Repeat them calmly. Allow acceptance to grow. This is cooperation with the subconscious.
Night programming, autosuggestion, and the quiet power of sleep. Why nighttime is the most powerful window. The moments before sleep are not ordinary. They are a transition state. As the body relaxes, the conscious mind begins to withdraw its critical control. Logical analysis softens. Judgment fades. Resistance weakens. The subconscious mind becomes dominant. This is not a poetic idea. It is a functional reality. Whatever occupies the mind at this stage is absorbed more deeply. The conscious mind steps aside at night. During waking hours, the conscious mind evaluates. Is this true? Does this make sense? Do I agree? Is this realistic? At night, these filters relax. The subconscious no longer faces opposition. This is why worries feel heavier at night. Old memories resurface. Emotions intensify. Repetitive thoughts deepen. This same openness can be used constructively. Autosuggestion explains simply. Autosuggestion is self-directed suggestion. It is not forcing thoughts. It is not repeating words mechanically. It is not demanding belief. Autosuggestion is introducing an idea when resistance is low. The idea does not need to be dramatic. It needs to feel acceptable. Why most people program fear at night? Most people unknowingly use night programming negatively. They replay the day's problems, anticipate tomorrow's stress, rehearse arguments, dwell on regret, worry about outcomes. The subconscious receives these as instructions. It then works overnight to reinforce them. This is why anxiety often increases with time. What the subconscious does during sleep. During sleep, the subconscious integrates emotional experiences, reinforces dominant beliefs, strengthens neural patterns, adjusts bodily functions, organizes memory and behavior. It is not inactive. It is highly active. Why night assumptions matter more than day affirmations. Daytime affirmations often face resistance. The conscious mind argues. Doubt interrupts. Logic challenges. At night, acceptance comes easier. A single calm assumption at night can outweigh dozens of strained affirmations during the day. The power of a single assumption. You do not need many ideas. You need one idea repeated consistently. For example, a sense of safety, a feeling of ease, an assumption of progress, a quiet confidence. The subconscious prefers simplicity. How small ideas create big shifts. The subconscious works incrementally. A small shift in assumption changes behavior slightly. Slight behavior changes outcomes. Outcomes reinforce belief. Belief strengthens identity. Identity reshapes life. This process is quiet but unstoppable. Why you should never go to sleep in emotional turmoil. Sleep does not erase emotion. It magnifies what is dominant. Going to sleep angry reinforces anger. Going to sleep fearful reinforces fear. Going to sleep peaceful reinforces balance. You do not need to solve problems before sleep. You only need to release them temporarily. The art of letting the day end. Ending the day consciously is essential. This does not mean reflection or analysis. It means closure. The subconscious needs signals of completion. Completion signals safety. Night programming is not visualization heavy. You do not need vivid scenes. You do not need effort. You need a feeling tone, a gentle sense of, things are okay. I am supported. Progress is happening. That is enough. Why forcing positive thoughts at night fails. Forced positivity creates inner conflict. Conflict keeps the conscious mind active. Activity prevents absorption. Neutral calm is more effective than artificial positivity. Autosuggestion through feeling, not words. Words are secondary. Feeling is primary. Even a wordless sense of ease communicates more than repeated statements. How to handle negative thoughts at night. Do not fight them. Fighting activates alertness. Instead, acknowledge their presence. Shift attention gently. Replace intensity with softness. The goal is not control. The goal is de-escalation. The role of rhythm and consistency. Night programming works through rhythm. Same time, same calm process, same gentle assumption. Repetition builds familiarity. Familiarity builds belief. Why results of night programming are subtle at first. The subconscious adjusts behavior first, then perception, then reaction, then external circumstances. Most people miss early signs because they expect dramatic change. Subtle shifts indicate success. Common beginner mistakes with night programming: trying to force results, using too many ideas, monitoring progress anxiously, expecting instant transformation, overanalyzing sensations. Simplicity wins. Practical night practice, Part 7. Each night, lie comfortably. Release the day mentally. Introduce one calm assumption. Allow sleep to come naturally. No effort, no repetition, no struggle. Why trust is essential. The subconscious works best when trusted. Checking constantly implies doubt. Doubt weakens impression. How night programming changes life over time. It reshapes emotional baseline, habitual reactions, confidence levels, health patterns, opportunity recognition. Life reorganizes quietly. Part 7 closing. Sleep is not an ending. It is a creative process. What you give the subconscious at night, it multiplies. In the next part, we will explore resistance and fear in greater depth. Why old patterns fight to survive. How to dissolve resistance safely. Why patience is a form of intelligence.
Most people believe resistance is a flaw. They say, something is wrong with me. I am blocking myself. I am not disciplined enough. I keep sabotaging my progress. This misunderstanding creates inner conflict. Resistance is not failure. Resistance is self-protection. The subconscious mind resists change for one reason only: to keep you safe according to what it already knows. The subconscious does not fear failure. It fears instability. The subconscious does not care whether you succeed or fail. It cares whether your environment feels predictable. Change threatens predictability. Even positive change introduces uncertainty. Uncertainty is interpreted as risk. This is why fear appears when you try to grow, improve your life, break old habits, step into new roles, expand beyond your current identity. Fear does not mean danger. It means unfamiliarity. Why old patterns fight to survive. Patterns that exist today once served a purpose. Even harmful patterns originally provided emotional protection, predictability, belonging, avoidance of pain, sense of identity. The subconscious remembers this. When you attempt to remove a pattern without replacing its emotional function, resistance intensifies. The subconscious asks, if this goes away, what will protect me? Resistance is a signal, not an obstacle. Resistance signals an unmet emotional need, a fear of loss, an identity threat, a lack of safety. Ignoring this signal strengthens resistance. Listening dissolves it. Why forcing change creates inner war. Force implies danger. When you pressure yourself, the subconscious reacts defensively. This creates procrastination, fatigue, confusion, self-doubt, emotional shutdown. The mind splits in two: the one who demands change, the one who resists to survive. This inner war exhausts energy. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is information. It reveals where safety has not yet been established. Instead of asking, how do I eliminate fear? Ask, what does this fear need to feel safe? This question shifts the relationship. The role of identity in resistance. Resistance is strongest when change threatens identity. If your identity includes, I struggle, I am anxious, I am the responsible one, I must sacrifice, I am not lucky, then ease, peace, and abundance feel foreign. The subconscious resists losing identity even if the identity is painful. Identity feels like survival. Why self-sabotage is misnamed. Self-sabotage is not destruction. It is self-preservation based on outdated data. The subconscious uses old rules to navigate new situations. It is not malicious. It is loyal. How resistance shows up. Resistance appears as procrastination, overthinking, sudden fatigue, loss of motivation, emotional numbness, distraction, self-criticism. These are protective behaviors. The worst thing you can do with resistance. The worst response is judgment. Judgment communicates rejection. Rejection increases fear. Fear increases resistance. This creates a loop. The correct response to resistance. The correct response is curiosity. Curiosity is non-threatening. It tells the subconscious, I am listening. Listening creates safety. Safety allows change. How to dissolve resistance safely. You do not dissolve resistance by pushing through it. You dissolve it by slowing down, reducing pressure, normalizing fear, offering reassurance, making change feel optional. The subconscious opens when it does not feel forced. Small permission creates big openings. Instead of demanding, I must change now. Introduce. I am allowed to explore change gently. Permission feels safe. Safety weakens resistance. Why patience is a form of intelligence. Impatience signals danger. Patience signals trust. Trust tells the subconscious, there is no emergency. When there is no emergency, defense is lower. The role of self-compassion. Self-compassion is not indulgence. It is regulation. A regulated nervous system is receptive. A dysregulated one resists. Why emotional safety precedes change. The subconscious cannot learn while defending. Defense blocks absorption. Safety enables learning. This is a biological reality. How to work with fear directly. When fear arises, do not analyze it. Do not suppress it. Do not dramatize it. Instead, acknowledge it. Allow it. Soften around it. Fear subsides when it is not resisted. Why letting go feels scary. Letting go feels like losing control. The subconscious equates control with survival. Reassure gently. I am still safe. Safety dissolves grip. Practical practice for Part 8. Daily, notice resistance. Name it silently. Remove urgency. Offer reassurance. Reduce demand. This reconditions safety. Why change should feel boring, not dramatic. Dramatic change triggers alarms. Boring change feels safe. Safe change sticks. Common beginner errors with resistance. Fighting fear. Judging hesitation. Comparing progress. Forcing timelines. Demanding certainty. Ease corrects all of these. What real progress looks like. Progress looks like less inner conflict, quicker emotional recovery, reduced fear response, more flexibility, softer self-talk. These precede external change. Part 8 closing. Resistance is not blocking you. It is protecting you. Once protection is no longer needed, resistance dissolves naturally. In the next part, we will explore deep daily practices, how to integrate all principles, a complete subconscious reconditioning lifestyle.
Transformation is a lifestyle, not a technique. Small practices work because they feel safe to the subconscious. Set your morning tone with calm, not urgency. Calm pacing communicates safety, and safety allows absorption. Throughout the day, simply notice your inner dialogue. Respond consciously instead of reacting automatically. When mistakes happen, don't reset. The subconscious learns from recovery, not perfection. End your day by releasing emotional residue. Allow rest to integrate your progress. Consistency creates familiarity, and familiarity shifts identity. Trust the process. Welcome to the final stage of our journey. The core principle is simple. Your subconscious creates what it feels is familiar and safe. To live in alignment is to prioritize safety over urgency. Begin your transformation with 3 action steps. First, orient your mornings toward calm. Before the world pulls at your attention, pause and find your center. Second, practice gentle awareness. Throughout your day, notice your reactions without judgment. Simply observing the automation is enough to begin the shift. Third, release the day's residue every evening. Mentally end your day and signal to your subconscious that it is safe to rest and integrate. The goal is to live this work without effort. When your new state becomes familiar, the subconscious accepts it as truth. Trust the evolution. Your transformation has already begun.
The greatest misunderstanding about subconscious work is the belief that you must control your mind. Control creates tension. Tension creates resistance. Resistance blocks integration. This work is not about domination. It is about cooperation. The subconscious mind is not something to conquer. It is something to understand. When understood, it becomes your greatest ally. Everything you have learned in this entire series can be reduced to one truth. The subconscious mind faithfully expresses what feels normal to it. Not what you want, not what you hope, not what you demand. What feels normal. Change does not come from chasing outcomes. It comes from normalizing new inner states. Effortless lives are not luck-based. They are belief-based. When success, health, peace, and abundance feel normal, they do not require struggle. The subconscious removes friction when alignment exists. Effort is a sign of internal conflict. Ease is a sign of agreement. The conscious mind has one job only: to choose the direction of attention. It is not responsible for execution. Execution belongs to the subconscious. When the conscious mind stops micromanaging and starts selecting states, transformation accelerates. Most people approach this work believing they are flawed. They say, "Something is wrong with me. I am blocked. I am behind. I missed my chance." This belief itself is conditioning. You were never broken. You were trained. Training can be changed. The subconscious learns through repetition, emotional tone, familiarity, safety, consistency. It does not learn through pressure. It does not learn through urgency. It does not learn through self-criticism. Instant change is rare and unstable. Lasting change is gradual and integrated. The subconscious prefers gentle exposure, small shifts, repeated reassurance. Stability matters more than speed. Why patience is not passivity. Patience is active trust. It tells the subconscious, there is no emergency. When there is no emergency, defenses dissolve. This is why patience accelerates progress. Letting go does not mean giving up desire. It means releasing emotional strain. Strain communicates doubt. Release communicates confidence. The subconscious moves fastest when left unobserved. Why life begins to reorganize quietly. As your inner state stabilizes, reactions soften, decisions improve, opportunities appear, relationships shift, health responds, confidence grows. Not dramatically, not suddenly, naturally, revisiting the core principles. The subconscious mind runs habits, emotions, and automatic behavior. It accepts ideas that are repeated and emotionally consistent. It prioritizes familiarity over improvement. Resistance is protection, not failure. Safety enables change. Identity governs outcomes. Imagination and feeling communicate more than words. Nighttime is the most receptive state. Small assumptions create large effects. Ease outperforms effort. The beginner's long-term roadmap. This is not a 30-day challenge. It is a way of living. Phase 1, awareness. Observe without judgment. Notice patterns. Reduce inner conflict. Phase 2, regulation. Calm the nervous system. Reduce urgency. Increase emotional safety. Phase 3, normalization. Introduce new assumptions gently. Allow them to feel familiar. Let behavior adjust naturally. Phase 4, integration. Identity shifts quietly. External life reflects inner order. Effort reduces. What to do when doubt returns? Doubt will return. This does not mean failure. It means the subconscious is recalibrating. Return to simplicity, calm, familiar practices. Doubt fades when not dramatized. What to do when nothing seems to be happening? When nothing appears to change, integration is occurring. Roots grow underground first. Continue gently. Stillness is not stagnation. Why comparison must be dropped completely? Comparison destabilizes identity. The subconscious learns from self-reference, not external timelines. Your rhythm is correct for your system. How to live this work without thinking about it. Eventually, practice disappears. What remains is softer reactions, quicker recovery, stable inner state, natural confidence, reduced resistance. At this stage, life itself becomes the practice. The final shift is this. You stop trying to change life. You allow life to respond to your inner alignment. This is mastery. Final closing. Your subconscious mind has been shaping your life all along. This series was not about gaining power. It was about recognizing the power that was already working. When you stop fighting your subconscious and start working with it, life stops feeling heavy. Change becomes natural. Growth becomes stable. Peace becomes familiar. And what feels familiar becomes real.